I'm Briana, and this is Backyard Bugs. Today, I'm here with a friend of mine, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hey, I'm Lauren. Welcome to my yard.
Yeah, we're in Lauren's backyard. So it's springtime, and we're gonna start looking to see what kind of bugs are emerging. And Lauren's yard is perfect for this because she's got a huge garden, and she didn't clean it up in the fall, which is perfect for bugs. A lot of insects will actually overwinter in stems. So in the fall, it's best to leave them tall. Like a lot of people want to cut them in the fall and then put them in piles for the winter.
Okay.
But it's better if you can leave it standing for the fall. And then in the spring, if you need to cut it and lay it down, that's okay. But it's better to do it in the spring than the fall.
That's great that our laziness has paid off.
Exactly. Like being a lazy gardener is actually
The way to
great
go.
for insects. And insects can be great for your garden. Why bugs? Why do you continue to study bugs? Why do you want other people to look at bugs? Like, why are they important? Why do you care?
Yeah, I think they're really cool. Ultimately, I just think they're really cool. But I also think that they are the underpinnings of most ecosystems. Plants are too. There's lots of other things too.
Yeah.
Like you can't have an ecosystem that is one type of
Literally
thing.
what an ecosystem is. It's all connected.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But insects often make up a large majority of kind of the biomass of an ecosystem or the underpinnings of food chains, and that's super important. And the other part of that is that we as people often overlook them.
Right.
Or don't appreciate them for what they're doing, or just don't like them or find them creepy or gross or whatever it is, unlike many other parts of that ecosystem. For diversity, for supporting local ecosystems, which are ultimately the ones that are going to be doing the most to support things like climate mediation, like carbon storage and these sorts of things, native ecosystems are unparalleled in that regard. But so planting native plants is really important. But having a diversity of flowering times, having a diversity of flowering colors, having a diversity of flowering shapes is really great, because as soon as you have more types of things to attract bugs, you're going to get more types of bugs attracted to them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, just like trying to create this like big buffet for pollinators is kind of a great goal. There's also some really great resources from like the city of Calgary, from the Calgary Pollinator Project, the Alberta Pollinator Coalition, I think it's called, that kind of delves more into planting for native pollinators.
Right. Yeah, it's been like there's a lot more information coming out for people that are interested in that. If you start looking into it,
Yeah.
you can find stuff now.
Yeah.
For people that maybe don't have a green thumb,
Yeah.
or
don't have the space for gardening,
don't have a lot of space. Is there anything they can do to encourage bugs?
Yeah. I mean, gardening is a very kind of individual tactic, right? And it's not going to save the world ultimately. I have been living in an apartment for the last however long. I don't have the space to be building a native ecosystem, and ultimately we as individuals can't change things, right? We as collective people absolutely can, right? There is a lot of space that is available for pollinators that isn't necessarily supporting pollinators, right? All of our city parks there's been some great initiatives to encourage pollinators, to encourage space for pollinators, to encourage space for all insects ultimately. When we're talking about pollinators, if we're building habitat for pollinators, we're also building habitat for other insects, for other bugs, for spiders and those sorts of things too. So there have been some great initiatives, but encouraging the city to do more, encouraging the municipality to do more, encouraging your local politicians to do more.
So leaving your yard a little bit messy in the fall means that bugs are going to have great places to hide over the winter. All of this kind of stuff makes a really great cozy home for all those bugs to hang out in. And you want bugs to hang out because the next year, if you're going to plant your garden or have flowers, those bugs are going to help pollinate your plants and maybe eat some of the other bugs that you don't like very much. In the springtime, when the days are getting warmer and sunnier and you're getting excited to start cleaning up your yard, it's best to wait until temperatures are consistently above 10 degrees Celsius, even at night. Because we want to make sure that we're not waking up those bugs too early and they're able to move around and find food like flowers that they need to survive. If you really want to start cleaning up your yard, you need to start tidying things, moving them out of the way so you can start planting new plants maybe. It's best to take all this stuff, put it off to the side, and leave it in a pile until those temperatures are warm enough, and then you can compost it. You could use this net if there's a flying bug and just like trap it.
There's lots on the wall.
Yeah, I caught a fly already and it's
Okay.
in here freaking out.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. Magnifying glass, you can just look, and then if you want to dig in the dirt and just like move shovelfuls of dirt and see if there's stuff
I'm down
under there.
to dig
Yeah.
because there's gonna be like worms and
Cool.
stuff.
Let's start with some digging then. A lot of bugs that live in the soil that aren't worms are really small.
Okay.
So you gotta look pretty carefully sometimes if you're looking in the dirt and crumble it up and kind of just look for movement. And then you might be like, oh, I guess that's a bug, even though I can't really see it. I can just see that it's moving. This dirt feels so nice.
Yeah.
If I was a bug, I'd want to live in it.
It's soft.
It is soft.
You gotta dig a little deeper.
Oh, there's some tiny springtails. Jumping.
Oh. Oh.
Maybe it's just too... Oh no, here's a tiny little worm. Here we go.
Ooh.
Earthworm.
So small.
So worms are interesting. I think most people would consider worms a bug, but they're not an insect. They're an invertebrate. There's lots of different kinds of worms, but this is an earthworm of some sort. I don't know worm ID very well. But I do know that these bugs are not native to North America. Most of them were brought over from Europe, and they're really great in gardens because they do like aerate the soil really well, and they move nutrients so that it gets really deep in the soil because they're quite big, especially compared to the native things that live in our soil. They're really tiny. And what that means is in native environments, the nutrients are only in the very, very top layer of the soil, whereas in your garden, if you've got earthworms, they can drag stuff down. But that means it's bad if earthworms end up in our native environments, because
Right.
then they're changing the nutrient profile, and all the plants that evolved to live here spread their roots out really far and wide instead of sending them deep, because that's typically where the nutrients were. And then the plants are like, uh-oh, we can't find what we need because the worms moved it. So we don't want earthworms in the forest, but we do
Okay.
want earthworms in our gardens.
They're good here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Earthworms are found in moist environments, like soil or compost. They need to stay moist in order to breathe, as they absorb oxygen directly through their skin. Although earthworms are very common in yards and gardens, all earthworm species originated in Europe and Asia and have been introduced to Canada. Some are even considered invasive, as they can have big impacts on our native ecosystems. In your garden, earthworms are helpful because they move nutrients around in the soil and make tunnels for air and water to circulate. However, in our native ecosystems, this can move things deep into the soil and out of reach of native plants that have evolved to have shallow roots and get their nutrients and water near the top of the soil.
Let's look in some of these and see if there's anybody in there.
There's gotta be something in there. Yeah.
The only way to really see them is to see them move.
Exactly.
And then you're like, oh, that's not a piece of soil, it's a bug.
This is the scariest part of my garden. Even in the summer when we have plants here, I'm like always seeing scary spiders here for whatever reason.
They really blend into the soil.
Oh yeah.
They're harmless. They're also really good for the soil. Awesome. They break things down like all of these old leaves and turn them into lovely nutrients for your plants.
This one's had a rough winter, it's missing an antenna.
These bugs have many names. They're sometimes called sow bugs, woodlice, or even roly-polies. These critters all belong to an order known as isopods, which are crustaceans, like shrimp. Isopods are found mostly in aquatic environments, like the ocean, where really big ones will eat decaying whale carcasses. But some isopods are terrestrial and live on land. These ones are much smaller. The name roly-poly bug comes from the ability of some species to roll themselves tightly into a ball, which protects them from predators, as well as keeps them moist and helps them avoid drying out.
Ooh, ants. Haven't found any ants yet. Interesting. Usually they are prolific. Tiny little worms.
So small.
Or is that, might actually be a millipede. I think it is a millipede. The way that it's curled up, but I'm not sure.
Oh my gosh, so small.
And yeah, you can see it's moving way faster than a worm.
Oh yeah.
Because it's got legs, it's a millipede.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, really tiny millipedes. Those are really good for your soil as well. And those are like our native species, right? So you can see the size of that compared to an earthworm. That's not going to be able to take big chunks of like dead plant material deep into the soil.
Right.
Because deep for it is like 1 centimeter.
Yeah.
I think they're so cute.
They are kind of cute. Even I can admit it.
The name millipede means 1,000 feet, which is a bit of an exaggeration. Although they have many pairs of legs, most millipede species have around 40 legs total, not 1,000. Although there was recently a species found that had 1,300 legs. Millipedes and centipedes can look quite similar, but millipedes are the gentler of the two. Where centipedes are predators that hunt and move quickly, millipedes are slow and eat dead and decaying material. If they're threatened, they'll just curl up into a tight little ball. Although most species can secrete chemicals that make them smell or taste very bad to potential predators.
Here's an earthworm. It's just a little earthworm, but it is an earthworm. Even smaller than the other one, I think.
This one looks dense, so I feel like
There could be some
there could be
critters
things
in there.
here.
Oh, a little spidey. Tiny little spider.
A tiny one?
Oh yeah. It's a crab spider, which is a really cool kind of spider. So they don't build a web. They're like an ambush hunter, so they'll just sit really still and camouflage. And then when another bug comes along, they'll like grab it.
Crab spiders are easily recognizable because their legs and body look similar to a crab. They also tend to move sideways and backwards like a crab. These kinds of spiders do not spin webs and instead rely on patience and speed to catch their prey. Crab spiders will wait with their front legs open until a bug lands or crawls into their range. They will then quickly grab their prey with those powerful front legs and bite them. The crab spider's venom is very powerful and paralyzes its prey quickly, even if the prey is much larger than the spider. Crab spiders can occasionally bite humans, but in Alberta, we don't have any really dangerous ones. And remember, no spider wants to bite you and will only do so if threatened. It would be a waste of their venom that takes them a lot of energy to produce, and they need that to catch their food.
I don't think I have anything in this bowl.
I'll have a look. You gotta look really closely.
I feel like there's gotta be something in these tomatoes.
I did find millipede. See, there's a millipede right there.
Oh!
Oh, they got like 100 millipedes in here. You're like,
Oh,
no
yeah,
bugs.
look at
Is this a weevil that's all curled up? It's dead. Oh, no, it's alive. It's moving.
It's just scared.
Yeah. Scared or cold?
I think he's just cold because he keeps like trying to move and then not moving. So he hasn't woken up fully yet.
Bye. Oh, there's so many beetles in here. Oh my goodness. The whole group of them.
Oh, wow.
Oh, look at that spider that crawled out of there.
Oh my gosh. Ah, that creepy.
That is a wolf spider.
Oof. Ew.
They're good hunters. They'll eat slugs.
Find the slugs for me.
Oh, and a shed skin from a spider.
Whoa.
Because
That's
when they
interesting.
grow, they need to shed their exoskeleton to get bigger. Because you can see, it opened up and the spider came out from the inside. You can see that it's like back opened up, and that's like it would have come out of there and left this skin behind.